Good Monday morning, you guys. Holy cow, you guys. It is the holiday week. Happy holidays to everybody. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. That is happening this week. Holy crap, you guys, we've made it. Last week was stressful. I told you that I was behind on all my stuff. And now I'm having to get caught up. You guys know I hate laundry, and I'm leaving to go to my mom's right after this show, and I've got to get caught up on it. So I have brought in troops, aka Josh, who is better at laundry than I am.
Poor Josh.
I know, to help me. So Holly, Josh is my husband. But before we dive into any of this, you guys are listening to Author Talk with me, Aimee, Russell, Valerie, and our lovely author guest today is Holly. So you guys, okay, the weather has mellowed out here. Okay, you guys know Texas is a bipolar state. I am a true Texan, 70 degrees. I've got a sweater on. Okay, I know. Give me crap. It's just the truth. I does say married today, though, Russell. Yay. So I remember, Russell, when Sandy was on and she would have a different ugly sweater.
Oh,
I remember that.
I remember that. They were ugly.
It was so
She had
great.
the best collection when she'd be
Her
younger.
Chihuahuas and everything. So she is doing great. We love Sandy. She's enjoying retired life and just living it up. So she's thoroughly enjoying it. But you guys, this is now my busiest time. So I'm actually, and it pains me to say it because I don't usually say it, but because I have Christmas and then I'm going to visit my grandmother, my daughter's great grandmother, the day after Christmas, I'm actually going to be taking a couple days off from working, which all of you guys know if you've listened to Russell talk, I have never done. Even when I was in labor with my kids, I did not.
I still don't believe it.
I know. I'm probably still going to be responding to emails. Okay. But with traveling, things are going to be crazy. So I am just looking towards the light at the end of the tunnel because I don't like road trips. And this 3.5 hour drive to my mother's is the most painstaking one ever because I don't get to drive it. I am the person that dishes out everything to the kids and make sure that my dogs are okay and that everybody has stuff. And for Thanksgiving, it was the trip from hell, Holly. Okay. We were only 20 minutes into this car ride. My daughter had spilt her drink all over the dog and the comforter that the dog was laying on. 20 minutes into this trip, and I was ready to turn around and go home. Okay, so let's fingers crossed that my trip today, you guys, is so much smoother and better because holiday traffic with construction is terrible. But the weekend was just me being frantic. I'm not even going to go into it because it was just me running around the house like a chicken with its head cut off. Just no, I'm not. We're not. I don't wish that on anybody. So I hope that you all had better smooth sailing weekends than I did. And if you are caught up on laundry, don't tell me because I'm just going to hate you. If you are, I am terrible at laundry. But what all did you guys do this weekend? Are you guys finally relaxed and calmed down, ready for the holidays? What does that look like for you? So who wants to go first? Russell, Valerie, Holly, who wants to go?
I'll go.
Go, Holly.
Okay, Holly, go.
All right, I'll go. My laundry is not caught up. It is -20 and we're in a snowstorm here. So there you go, if that makes you feel better. And I feel like we're all complimenting each other in our wardrobe today.
Right?
Yes. This past weekend was very quiet, got caught up on some writing, but this coming weekend, I get to go visit my son who is at school in Michigan. So that's exciting. And Aimee, if it makes you feel better again, it's a 9-hour drive from where I am.
Oh,
not fun, and over 2 massive bridges. So,
oh no,
and possibly bad weather.
So, but I'm excited. He's worth it, and I can't wait to see him.
That's your plane ride, and I'm not a plane flyer.
Me neither. That's why I'm driving.
Okay, see, we're the same, but I feel like it's less risky. But at the same time, I'm one of those, I scream if there's a little turbulence on a plane. So probably not a good, just those terrible situations all around. But I'm excited that you get to see your son. That's fantastic. I love it. Russell, what about you? What did you do?
So mine's a little different. We moved from Georgia to Texas over this last year to be close to family. We actually moved 2 blocks from our grandchildren. And this weekend was one of the reasons. It was an awful reason, but it was a reason.
It's a fantastic reason, Russell.
My son-in-law he's a great son-in-law. He was gone for work. naturally, the day he leaves for his business work, one of the twins that's 4 years old had massive volcanic everything.
Oh.
And all night long, my daughter was alone and had to take care. She has 3 children. Had to take care of Daphne, and so the next day was Grandpa helping his daughter day, and it was very unpleasant and very satisfying.
That's the sweetest thing. That's the sweetest ending to such an explosive story. That is the sweetest.
And you used the right word.
I did. It took me a minute, but I did. I did. Well, that's heartwarming though, Russell. There is a heart up in there. Kind of like the Grinch has a little heart. You have one.
Now wait till we get into Holly's books and compare them with mine. Holly won't think that at all about me.
Probably not. So Holly, enjoy Russell liking him while you can, because it will be short-lived for sure. Valerie, what about you? Are you ready for the holidays?
I am pretty close. I'm just missing a few like stocking stuffers and things like that. That just means I'm going to go buy a ton of candy. You know it will, and my kids will eat it. Just the whole smorgasbord. But yeah. So Saturday we had party with some longtime friends, and their parties are always like the most fun. Because
how many margaritas did you have?
They didn't have margaritas, but they had
wine.
And then but their parties are fun. They have the fire pit outside. They have like a giant table outside where everybody just sits around and talks, and loads of food. And then they karaoke Christmas songs, in a whole dining room filled with desserts, all that kind of fun stuff. But it's just a fun crowd, and they know the whole words to Heat Miser by heart, if you know what I'm talking about. Heat Miser from Rudolph. No, I'm sorry, not Rudolph. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yeah, okay. It took me a hot minute, but yeah. Okay.
Yes. That's a big deal. All those claymation shows. So, but Heat Miser's but that song is like, it's close to our family's heart. And then second of all, we had the cousin Christmas, which is, I come from a really huge family. So catching up with everybody and all the babies and more babies and just more cousins. So it's the best time of the year. Really, it is.
I love it.
Yes.
That sounds
we
like
look forward to
fun. It. See, you guys had so much fun in my weekend, and that makes me happy. I'm just gonna live vicariously through you guys in this like decompressed stress state that you guys are in, because it's beautiful.
Okay, I need to thank our listeners.
Yeah.
We're top 1% on Good Pods and top 10% on some of the other channels. We're very grateful to our listeners, and we're very humbled by it. We started this show 10 years ago in a week, couple of weeks from now, 10 years ago. And we were so bad when we started. Aimee was hidden behind a camera. You could not physically force her to get in front of a camera back then. So it was so weird. And she's still weird, but it was a different type of weird then.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. Aimee, where do people find us?
Okay, you guys, Russell always tells this out of context. Okay, so I'm going to give you some context so you understand.
Well, you are weird.
I am a weird pickle. Like that. That's true. I embrace that. That's totally true. But
it's cool. Yeah.
What he doesn't tell you is that at the beginning, I was brought in to video record them. It wasn't for
I remember that.
Yeah, it wasn't for me to be a part of the show. I was like their producer of the show. And
you could see all Russell's background there.
Yeah,
great.
He lived at this beautiful place in downtown Houston, and Sandy loved going, and so we would go and film like 3 or 4 of them, and I was their like video man is what I was, and like but when we would use the phone and I had something to say, I would turn it back on me and then flip it back. So it just was a different time. And then now we started at Zoom, and now we're over here on StreamYard, and it's just evolved into what it has evolved into. But yes, Russell, I'm no longer camera shy in Russell's eyes, and he doesn't harass me anymore, guys, about where to find the show. So You can find it literally anywhere that you can find a podcast. Okay. My go-to is Spotify, Amazon Music. I am an Android user, so Google Play. If you are an iPhone, on iTunes. You can also watch us, which is how I generally watch all of my podcasts. I'm weird again, but you can go over to YouTube, our Facebook group. You can interact with us live, ask questions Mondays at 10 a.m. Central Time. Ask us questions. We'll even highlight your comment up on our screen. But you can also go to any one of our social media platforms, follow us, engage, catch the show and videos. Russell shares stuff all over in our author talk group over on Facebook. So that's how you can go and engage with us. But if you've been listening to us for any length of time, you know that me and Russell have been...
Don't tell Holly.
I won't. Me and Russell have been having a really in-depth learning conversation for Russell about a particular genre that Russell needed to learn more about. And it all started, Russell, how did it all start?
Well, first I got to ask our Holly before we give her any hints. Holly, have you ever heard of authors fans or book fans getting phrases from their books or covers of books tattooed on their body?
I have not.
Okay.
Right. We have not found. I guess last week we actually came across someone that suggested he might have heard of it, but we had. This is what we're talking about. I came across a book festival where they had a tattoo artist at it, and I couldn't figure out why. And I brought it to the show and said, "Why would that be something?" And Aimee started laughing at me. And we spent the last year exploring that and her trying to educate me. Valerie seems to be right on the edge, and she doesn't really let us know just how deep she is in it. But they've been educating me. Aimee, go ahead.
Okay, so it all started when Russell was talking about over in India, they do book conferences or like book cons, and their readership is very avid. And he found an article that talked about having a tattoo artist at one of these book events, which is when I started laughing at Russell. And I asked him, I said, was it a romance book event? And he said, I think it was. And I said, yeah, that makes sense because dark romance authors and readers are the ones that get quotes from those books tattooed on their bodies. And so we've been having this learning escapade is what I call for Russell. So I read a lot of dark romance, well, any type of romance. I read a lot of it in my downtime when I'm not reading my clients' books. And I couldn't help but find it funny that he was talking about it.
I didn't even know what dark romance was.
But then it went on. So then he was traveling around and he noticed, I think some book tattoos. And I was like, well, why don't
you in Europe?
Yeah, I was like, well, why don't you just ask her what book it's from? And he's like, because that's creepy. It turned into like this whole fun little bit. And so we've been doing this learning escapade with Russell. And last week I had told him about how it was the biggest book tattoo I had seen in one of my romance groups. This lady had an entire back tattoo of a book cover, and it had like a vampire skull and then like the woman in it. And it was the biggest one that I had seen. And before that, we talked about the painted edges and the sprayed edges and then the designs on them.
Which I think is very cool.
It's fantastic. It's beautiful. And so we've just been going down these rabbit holes. Russell,
but people on the show that's what they do.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to get someone to answer our questions.
Well, Russell, let me just clarify what dark romance is. It's reading a romance book with the lights turned off.
There you go. There you go.
Fair.
Kidding.
And and those they've been around for so long. I mean, if you go way, way back, you could go like the story of O, and then Anne Rice writing under a pen name, and just all these different things. Heck, Jackie Collins, what the hell?
Yeah.
You can just go for days and days.
It's been so much fun though, Holly, because Russell is really committed to understanding, because 80% here, I think here in the States, 80% of book purchases and
fiction book sales.
Yeah, and reader consumption is dark romance. Dark romance dominates the TikTok platform. Dark romance has made the sprayed edges and design edges just a whole new level, right? And so I love having this like fun little learning escapade with Russell because he's committed to it, because it's
so
not
Holly
just
obviously knows about this stuff.
I mean, I've heard of dark romance. And I know that romance is probably the #1 genre here in Canada as well. But my question is, what if they make a typo on the tattoo?
Right? I mean, I don't know. I don't have any tattoos because I live in fear of that, and I don't
How's
like
she
needles.
gonna know? It's on her back.
Well, I don't like needles either. So there's like this whole thing, right? But it's just like, I don't know. It's so cool because he started off just thinking romance, right? Like that was just the blanket. And then he learned that there's like morally gray characters, and there's pitch black romance, and there's like pages of trigger warnings. So it's
and I have family members that read it that I had no idea about.
So it's been like a fun, Russell, I feel like this is like a fun way of like wrapping up our year, right? Like just, we're going to continue this escapade because there's like an infinite amount into the dark romance. But yeah, that's what we've been talking about. And that's what we've been learning with Mr. Russell. And I love it. It's been a lot of fun.
So Russell, let me ask you, are you going to pick up a dark romance in 2026?
I don't know. I got to tell you, what was that? There a couple years ago, there was the book, The Gray. What was it?
50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey. And I tried to read that because it was so popular, thinking, okay, I've got to read it. And I got to about chapter 7. I was like, done.
Well, yeah, those are they're terribly written, and that's not dark romance.
Okay. So I don't know if I will or not. I will probably try. I actually have been monitoring the bookstores about how they promote it. And just in the last 6 months since I became aware, they've gone from and I've even asked Aimee and Valerie about it, as part of the romance section, but they didn't have a different part of the romance section, to now they have tables at the latest Barnes and Noble. They had a whole table dedicated to it. We actually shared a picture in one of our shows that I took that was just dark romance table. So, I mean, this stuff is getting hot, and I probably believe Holly will have to, because how else am I going to dive deeper down the rabbit hole?
Well, let's read the same book and we'll chat about it.
I don't know that I can.
Right.
I may be too modest. I don't know yet. I'm not prepared. I'll have to read it before I can. I'll have to lie, read it, and then tell you I haven't read it yet.
Russell, just do what Valerie does. Take a picture and ask me if I've read it. And then I'll tell you if it's worth your read, if you're going to enjoy it or not. Because Lord knows I've probably read it. So just send it to me. If not, I can find a video that talks about it to see if you're interested in it.
Well, I don't want to get too far down that hole either, because as an old man, that's just creepy. Okay. And you got to work extra hard not to be creepy at my age. It's just a fact.
Well, okay, and we're going to pivot from that.
Yeah, like Holly, one of these young women that I saw in Rome, in fact, with a tattoo on like this. I actually texted Aimee from Rome and said, the girl next to us has one of those tattoos. She said, well, ask her about it. I was like, I can't ask her about it. Some old man can't tap a young woman on the arm and say, hey, what's that tattoo on? I mean, that's yikes.
He did say that, and I was like, oh well, that's true, that's okay, like I'll give you that one for sure. But then, to be fair, Holly, so me and Russell are very similar personality wise, and so then I went to Target and I just started taking pictures of all of the really good ones that I've read that are dark romance, just to show them what the cover looks like, because you can't always tell a dark romance by its cover. Like sometimes you can't. And then the spray painted edges with the designs and how you can get them at Target. So then I've slowly been educating him on it, but I sent him the photos of like the darkest books that he's probably never going to read. But at this point, it's just fun for me. Like it's just fun for me. But
I'm fully intrigued now as well. I mean, I'm not a dark romance. I think I'm more of a sweet romance reader, but yeah, I'm intrigued and I'm curious. So here we go. trip to the bookstore.
It just depends. Like I've read a dark romance, paranormal romance, and I'm not a paranormal person at all. And I didn't see it coming. So it was left field for me for sure. But I just like reading. I enjoy reading, and it's something that's fun for me. And so all of us enjoy reading. And Russell and Valerie are authors. They write books. I do the marketing and promotion of these books. But Holly, you've written a book that's coming out in February. So Valerie, let's get Holly talking about her being a reader and a writer and her upcoming book. So take it away, Valerie.
All right. So Holly, let's tell us a little bit about yourself so we can get a feel for how this all came to be.
Okay, well, I live in Northern Ontario, Canada, and I have lived in very remote parts of this country, following my husband for a mining career, of course. And we've come full circle. We've moved back to our hometown to take care of parents and whatnot. And about 3 years ago, I got the writing bug all of a sudden. Well, it wasn't all of a sudden. We've had 2 rescue dogs for about 10 years, and I've always been trying to figure out how to fix them, right? They came with a bunch of issues, anxieties, and Sully is the one with the most fears out of the 2. The other one is Cash, Johnny Cash. That's his name. So Sully came bouncing over towards me along the path, and all of a sudden this stanza downloaded into my mind, and it was him kind of telling me like, I'm okay, like you worry about me so much, but I am fine. Just let me be quiet. I accept you. Please just let me do my thing. And I thought, well, that was kind of neat. Like I don't know, I put it in his voice. And from that day, a long story short, it just evolved. And then I started writing scenes and chapters. And I wanted to recreate Sully's story, his rescue story, as I knew it. But I realized it had to become fiction because I wanted to give Sully a voice. And so I did. And now it is a story of a woman, Renley, who's 47 years old. And she goes on a rescue mission to save these dogs from a northern community. And she falls in love with Sully. So they are my 2 dogs in the story, but because I gave Sully a voice and his own arc, it became fiction. And I've been writing ever since. That was 3 years ago, and I haven't stopped.
Wow. So tell us what kind of breed these guys are. Are they, I know you might not know, but are they big, little? What are they?
So Cash, Johnny Cash, is a boxer pointer, we think, full of energy. He's about 65 pounds. He looks more like a pointer, never stops, black and white. And then Sully is a shepherd mix, all black with just a tiny bit of white. But he's got the sweetest soul, and he's so quiet, won't go through doorways. Just, his fears go on and on and on, but sweet soul. And he's about 75 pounds. Yeah.
Oh, so they sound like they're little twins, just like taking over your house. And I love it. I love it. What is it about the dog's personality, or just that prompted you or just inspired you?
Well, I have choice words for Cash some days, and I can't say them here on the podcast, but we fun around because he has so much energy, and he has really put us through the ringer. His antics are beyond, and he's 12 years old, and he acts like a 2-year-old. But Sully, on the other hand, like I mentioned, he's just riddled with fears and anxieties. You can't really approach him. To this day, there's no cuddling with him. He comes in for a morning snuggle, and then he backs away. And I really wanted to understand them. And I knew that wasn't really possible. I mean, how could I understand my dogs? I needed to find a way to accept what I couldn't change here. And by giving him that story, I feel like that's changed now. I have a completely different relationship with these 2 dogs. I'm no longer trying to fix them. I mean, they're dogs and they do silly things still. But even this morning, I was cuddling with them both, and I thought, okay, we're good. They're both over 12, or so we think. We don't know their exact age.
Yes,
and that's why.
So when you got them, they were younger pups, right? Just little pups, and you've had them the whole time. Like how many years? 3 years?
No, we've actually had them. We got them when they were, well, they say 2, but we think really 1. And so we've had them for 11 years or so.
Wow. Yes.
And
How
I've
could
had
you not
dogs
be
my whole life.
inspired? I know
Yeah.
just the way you're talking, you can tell your heart is so full of love and acceptance and just support for these babies. Just when you say, like, I know, like, we're dog lovers on this show. Russell has a new baby, and I've had lots and lots of dogs. But just, I guess, when you imagine Sully's voice, how does it sound to you? It's like just like, I'm, like you said, I'm okay, but how do you think he's trying to handle his fears as that point of view come through to you?
When I look at Sully, I feel like his eyes tell me everything. I mean, as a dog's eyes do typically. When I see the whites of his eyes, I know he's worried or scared. And so he's got this, I still feel like he has like a teenager kind of voice, not too high, not deep enough yet. If we're talking, the sound of it, but he's just always reassuring me, letting me know he's happy, even though he has some pent up anxiety, that he's okay and that he's happy in this life. It may not be the perfect scenario for him. Oh, I just heard them barking outside. And yeah, of course. But he's happy, and I can't change the fact that something happened to him in his early life. That's clear to me. And I've heard before that dogs don't remember, but they have to. With the way that Sully reacts to people, doorways, all of those things, you can't tell me he doesn't remember something or a feeling, right? It could be a feeling.
So share with us the storyline of your book.
Okay, so it's a dual narrative between human and dog. And so Renley is 47 years old, and she's going through the second act of life. And she's searching for purpose, belonging, because she has 2 adult sons with her husband, Jesse, and they're off to school. And so she just wants to belong to something. She's always been searching because she's always been the daughter of a mother who deals with mental health issues, an employee, all of that stuff. Her best friend, Emma, invites her on a rescue mission up north because Emma is a director of a shelter. And so, her and her husband are talking about it, but he doesn't really think it's a great idea because she also goes through anxieties when it comes time to travel, that sort of thing. But she decides, no, I got to do this. She's been volunteering at the shelter for a month. And so she's like, I got to do this. So they go and they rescue a pack of dogs. And that's where Sully comes in. And in the pack mentality, they call him Little Dog, but she dubs him Sully because she thought, you know what? He looks like a Sully to me. So they return, and thus the story begins of her trying to adopt Sully, but he gets adopted by another family.
Oh no.
Yeah. And it follows their journey from there. And one chapter is Renley, the other chapter is Sully, and it alternates from there. And I don't know if I should give away more than that.
No. What kind of personality do you give Sully, though?
Quiet, calm. I wouldn't say assertive. He's more of a follower, but strong.
There you go. Yes.
Silent and strong.
Because he's a survivor.
He is indeed. Yes.
And does that character resonate with your human character that they're going through the same struggles?
Great question. Yes, because Renley has that inner strength. She just doesn't know it. She's been going through so much with her mother. She lost her father 10 years prior. She's been living everyone else's life in a sense, but has never really found her purpose. And through these dogs, she learns how to accept. And I think that's what resonates the most with me is I thought this was a rescue story because we always talk about how did you rescue the dogs, or, oh, those dogs were rescued. But I realized it's not a rescue story. It's a story of acceptance between Renley and the dogs, a mutual acceptance.
Now, have you been on rescue missions yourself, or did you just go to adopt the babies?
I just adopted them. I've had dogs my entire life. Some of them just showed up, at home when I was a kid, but I did perhaps coerce my husband into getting a couple of dogs. So we've been together for years, and so we've had a few. I have not been on the rescue missions, but I have volunteered for the local shelter, so I know how it goes. And we actually, there's a local rescue shelter here. They have a bus, and it's called the Bark Bus. And it goes up north, and they pick up packs of dogs. And I did live in remote parts of Canada, so I know what happens to dogs that are abandoned in isolated communities, and they develop that pack mentality. So I'm aware. I have that knowledge. But no, I have not been on a rescue mission.
I feel like that both, by the sound of it, your storyline, that the characters, both of them, find strength within. Do you feel that?
Absolutely. And I think they feed off of each other as they get to know one another. Even Cash, I mean, he's a big part of the story as well, but the focus was Sully and his rescue. But they do find that strength in each other, and they find strength in just what's the word I'm looking for? Just living amongst each other. And they're both survivors in a sense. Renley not so much, but just, living the life with her parents and the mental health issues. She's afraid that she'll become very much like her mother and does everything she can not to. And so with the dogs in her life, she learns how to just accept not only the dogs, but herself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because the dog really has no control, but the human has control, and then maybe she's learning from the dog.
She is. And when it comes to control for oneself as a human, when you're in a period of anxiety, I've been through it myself. You feel like you can be in control. I've got all the textbook answers, and I've read all of the books, listened to all the podcasts to help. Sometimes you feel like you're not in control. And so you hope that you have that muscle memory to take you through some of those darker moments. But my dogs definitely help me, and they can sense if I'm having a bad day, and they just come and lay beside me. Sully quietly at my feet, of course, but Cash, 65 pounds, right on top of me.
Of course. How do you feel that this, people will take this story as a personal journey, or just an uplifting story, or both?
I think a little bit of both. I'm hoping.
Yes.
This started out as a love letter to my dogs, or it is a love letter to my dogs, but it's also my way of giving back to the community. I mean, I work full time, and so I don't have a ton of time to volunteer other than the commitments I currently have. And as this story progressed, I thought, this is also a way for me to give back. And so the book launch, the proceeds from the book, we are going to be giving back to the shelters. So I want that to be a little bit of both, uplifting, maybe inspiring to someone else to want to write their story, and entertaining as well, because Cash's antics will have you laughing for sure.
That's awesome. Russell, do you have any questions as a new puppy owner? Or not new puppy? Is she a year old? Is Rita a year old?
She turned a year old last month. How did you develop the multidimensional characteristics of your animals in your story?
Over 10 years of observation, I would say. I spend so much time with the dogs. I have the fortunate ability to work from home some days, and so my dogs are usually not too far from me. My weekends are filled with dog walks and dog playing. And so I get down to that ground level with them. I'm on the grass on all fours playing tug of war with Cash while Sully is usually about 10 feet away watching us. And so I guess I consider myself a fairly observant person of other humans as well, but especially dogs. Oh, sorry, Russell.
No, finish.
I was just going to say, as I've gone through the years and trying to fix them, I've tried so many different ways to help them, but observing is probably a gift because of that.
What are you proudest of about this book?
Finishing it.
Okay, that is a rational, good answer. I really like that.
I think what I'm most proud of is initially this started out as a very fun, I will just write this for me. I never anticipated finishing a manuscript, getting a book cover, all of the things, and coming to the point of having a launch that was never going to be in my future. And here we are. Yeah. But I'm also doing it for me. Like it's never left. I've never left that thought. It's if people like it, I'm so happy. If they don't, well, so be it. But
all right.
Dedication is to the dogs. This one's for the dogs.
Okay. Now, I have a weird question, which I asked last week for the first time, and it was so weird that I have to ask it again. So, if one of your reading fans were going to tattoo a quote from your book on their body, what would it be? I know, it's so weird. I couldn't answer this when Valerie asked me to answer the question, too.
When you were stating the question just now, I thought, oh my gosh, how will I ever answer this? But I have it. But it has a little bit of a swear word though, so I don't know if I can say it.
We say way worse than whatever you're going to say.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit balls.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Because Renley says that all the time. She's like, oh, shit balls, I lost my keys.
Okay.
But I have, can I have a runner up though?
Yeah, absolutely. Enthusiasm is the test.
The second one would be keys, wallet, phone, dog kisses.
That's what your character goes through before she leaves ever, right?
Great question, Russell. Gosh, am I going to get a tattoo now?
What are you reading? What are you reading right now?
I am reading. I can't believe I'm reading this. It's Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. I can never say the last name. Dinniman. What's
it about?
Yes.
I'm not even sure. I mean, this is from my son Rogan, who's an adult son, but he loves video games, and so it's a guy who's caught up in a video game.
Okay, that's a new popular subgenre. So that is very cool.
Okay. Lit RPG,
and I would have never picked that is what you were reading ever. Which is why I asked those questions.
Well, I'm an eclectic reader, so at any given time you'll find either a biography or fiction, nonfiction. But I'm reading this because my son says it's a great narrated audiobook, and he's not wrong. It is one of the funnest books I have listened to.
Tell us the name again so I can check it out.
Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You're going to laugh, but these are my list of books to add to my, I don't even know, but I'm going to put it on this list, these two lists.
Got one of those too.
Those TBR ones.
You guys are funny. Great. I just have like a ongoing list on my phone instead of writing it because I lose papers and stuff. I'm telling you, I would lose my head if it wasn't attached to my body, and I'm doing good to know my name most days. So I would lose all of those things. But Holly, I have a rescue dog who I always have to tell the story because it's relevant. I have a rescue dog that I rescued during March Madness, which means they were trying to like clear their shelter, right? So I got him at 4 months old, and he is my $12 dog that is no longer a $12 dog. So when I rescued him, so he is a pit bull Great Pyrenees lab mix. Okay. Wow. But he's on like the medium size. See, look, there's Rita. I love Rita. His sweet little Rita.
Hi, Rita.
So when I rescued him, he was there with his brother. His brother went in the corner, faced the corner, and just peed himself, like wouldn't do anything. Bruno is his name. He came and at least like licked my daughter. So I was like, okay, like we can work with this. And he had Ming all over his body, and he is a silver dog, which I did not know that they have just skin issues. He has allergies. He's allergic to my grass, which is why he is not a $12 dog anymore. But I am his person. So when you said that your dog, who's 65 pounds, which is what Bruno is, lays on top of you, Bruno will drag his face and then plop the rest of his body on top of your body. It doesn't matter where he is, but he has a thing about men. Like he doesn't like men. If my husband enters a room, he cowers down. It's just a whole thing. But he is just my extra love baby is what I call him. So rescue dogs are amazing. They come with their own stories, but they are amazing. I will always rescue a dog for sure. But you guys, last minute holiday gifts. Okay. I'm telling you, you could do it. I mean, you probably won't make it for the holidays, but you know, you're going to see family after the holidays. So, you know, just stack up for birthdays and stuff. The best gift is a book. So go and check out Holly's book. Go and read. Greatest gift that you can give this holiday season is reviews. Holly's book comes out in February, so it gives you time. So you can go and check it out. But until then, you guys, I want to wish everyone a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, and safe travels. Have a fantastic rest of your week, a great Monday. And until next Monday, you guys, bye for now, everybody.